I have never paid a bill in my life.
It just shows to me how unfair everything is.
There is a lot of jealousy, there is a lot of hate, there is a lot of stepping on necks.
I ended up in a psychiatric unit at the age of 15.
Sometimes you just have to drag yourself out.
How? I'm an activist, a youth homeless campaigner and survivor. I do a lot of anti-poverty work and I'm also a part-time student. I would say I have the bare minimum money, pretty much living in poverty.
I would describe myself as affluent. I model part-time, but I'm a full-time student. When it comes to money, I don't really worry.
What would you think wealth has given you for your life, like the good things?
I had a really good education, a private school education. But I also have the ability to have comfort almost.
Do you have a car?
So my car's a BMW. I have no idea how much it is worth because I did not buy it. My dad bought it for me.
Do you pay your bills or?
My family pays my bills.
Would you know what to do with a bill or?
I have never paid a bill in my life, but I do have to go to the supermarket and like buy my own food.
I think people should have nice things and that's how life should be. At the same time, it's kind of hard because private school to me is quite a big because I just think it just shows to me how unfair everything is. I'm currently living in a housing association after numerous attempts at trying to find housing and living in psychiatric units. I've tried really hard to pull myself out of poverty, but I think with mental health, sometimes poverty goes hand in hand and exacerbates it. You know, some of the schools that I've been into, the kids are coming in starving. You know, the kids are not even potty trained, some of them, and their age is 4 to 5. So there's definitely a complete polarisation there.
I think it's definitely wrong that people are so wealthy and people are so poor. But do you think there's possibly more that you could do for yourself?
What would help actually really is like proper secure work and actually, you know, having a bit of a career. In the past it's been hard for me to get the qualifications to get to college because of things like not having the money to get there, not having the money for books. I didn't have internet and a lot of the coursework now is online.
You could go to like an internet cafe.
Well, I did start going to like the library, but so I wrote an essay out and then it shut itself off after an hour and there was no way of getting it back.
But I feel like there is still a solution. If you don't know how to use the computer, why not ask the librarian?
Well, I knew how to get up Word and like document and stuff, but I didn't know it were on a timer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anybody in your situation would find it depressing. But I also feel like sometimes you just have to drag yourself out.
Okay. How? I don't know how I would be able to do that, really. It's really hard to kind of better myself when I don't have support.
Can I ask what your mental health disabilities are?
Yeah, so from the age of 8 I was severely depressed and I was self-harming and it kind of got worse from like a family breakdown at home and it turned into bulimia and anorexia, severe depression, which has pretty much taken over my whole life. I ended up in a psychiatric unit at the age of 15. It was just in and out until I was in my early 20s. I went back to my mum's house and she just said that I hadn't got better and that she couldn't cope and that I needed to leave.
I mean, I'm kind of shocked. Like, I can't even imagine.
The thing that is kind of trapping me into poverty is my mental health.
I feel like it literally just all goes back to you and your belief system.
Yeah.
Whether or not you actually believe that you can do it and you believe that you deserve it as well.
Yeah. And when you've been told from a young age that you're crap and you don't deserve anything and...
You might start to believe that.
Yeah.
Like it just seems like a hole that's like nearly impossible to get out of.
And that's how I'd explain poverty.
There definitely is a negative stigma that comes with being wealthy. There is a lot of jealousy, there is a lot of hate, there is a lot of stepping on necks. It's almost like being in a fish tank with sharks, and as soon as people smell blood, they will go for it. From a young age, there was definitely a lot of pressure on me to succeed. Every day after school, I had a different activity that I had to do. swimming, gymnastics, horseback riding, piano lessons, and I was never allowed to be average. Let's say I got a C, that was unacceptable. If I do not get an A, then my parents would be very upset with me.
And how did that make you feel?
I was actually really stressed for somebody who was 11 or 12. You know, my dad has told me, you're immature because you are not financially independent by yourself. I've had anxiety and depression as well. I got help straight away through my health insurance, and it did make a big difference. Why should I get it and you shouldn't?
The answer to that mainly is money. Yeah.
What I've learned is that poverty is much more of a trap, and it's not something you can necessarily work your way out of. Trying to get to the root, which is the mental health, is the way to go to help people out of poverty. I would still want to be rich.
I don't need loads and loads of wealth. As long as I've got enough and other people have enough, happy days. Would I be rather rich or poor? I'd rather be neither, and I'd rather be in the middle.
So do you think our paths would ever meet outside of being here today?
It would be very unlikely.
I think so too.
Yeah. That's a shame really, isn't it? Because then you kind of miss out on meeting people and having this kind of dialogue and this kind of understanding as well. Yeah.
Completely agree. I think it was just a shame because you don't seem that different to me.